the ultimate prize, becoming the #1 solo ranked player in the world. The 10k MMR mark was deemed unbreachable by Valve, who even put a maximum limit on it at 9,999 when ranked matchmaking was first introduced. But two mid players from SEA were in a race to achieve the impossible. This is the story of the conquest for 10k MMR. When Dota 2 opened up ranked matchmaking, the immediate goal of any aspiring pro player was to top the world's leaderboards with their MMR. It was a matter of personal pride. Being able to claim that you were the best player in the world in a game played by millions was a personal goal that many players worked towards. Weeha ended up becoming the first player to ever achieve an 8,000 MMR rating, beating out players like Miracle and Chinese player IG June. Initially, 6,000 MMR was considered top tier, but pro players continued to push the boundaries and reach milestones that the community never thought possible. The benchmark of the truly elite players was pushed up further by players like Miracle and Weeha, who began to work towards the 8k MMR threshold. But once the floodgates were opened, several other pros and pub stars began to make it past the 8k MMR mark, making 9k the new holy grail. Amongst the elite pro players, Miracle, RTZ and Mid1 were the frontrunners. On May 10, 2016, Miracle became the first player to breach the 9k MMR mark. Paparazzi and Mid1 soon followed, pushing the boundaries once again and kicked off the race to 10,000 MMR. It was immensely difficult and was deemed near impossible by many pros who reached the 9k MMR mark. For one, it took them well over 30 minutes just to find a game, as the MMR pool didn't have enough players in that bracket. The other problem they were facing was that they would be forced to team up with 4k to 5k teammates while the enemy team consisted of 5 7k MMR players, more often than not. Players like RTZ and Matumba Man started to play using Smurfs, but a few including Abed, Mid1, Miracle and China's #1 player, Paparazzi, continued to persevere, vying for that 10k MMR mark. Eventually, two frontrunners emerged, Abed and Mid1. Abed started pushing himself to the limits in NA servers as he began to inch closer to the historic 10k MMR threshold. It was the holy grail for all Dota 2 players. On June 26, 2017, Abed became the first player to breach the 10k MMR boundary. Unfortunately, the Dota 2 community didn't accept him as the first legitimate 10k MMR player. They believed that Abed's teammates from his former team, Digital Chaos, were throwing games in order to boost him to the 10k MMR mark. However, the allegations were false and cherry-picked stats to delegitimize Abed's impressive achievement. Till date, there hasn't been any evidence to support the claims that Abed was boosted to 10k MMR by his teammates. Mid1 soon followed, breaching the 10k MMR mark on the SEA servers on July 9, 2017.
Told you guys, I feel it. Today is the day. Okay, nobody is stopping me.
The 10k MMR mark would only be further breached by RTZ and Ramses before Valve introduced medals and ranked matchmaking, making numerical MMR leaderboards obsolete. While the race to breach the MMR brackets has now become a thing of the past, we can always reminisce about the days when the race to make history was one of the most entertaining aspects of pub Dota 2.
I'm coming home.